What's going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're going to be talking about Stockholm. I know a lot of my content recently has been about Paris, and I am still really excited about Paris. And we're still going to be covering all about, the movements and the Paris markets and kind of the new strategies and new direction that everything's going now that the Paris sale has ended. But I want to give it a couple days to kind of see where things are going. I don't want to beat a dead horse too much. I want to let those markets move. And I want to talk about some other, what I think are pretty interesting, good, bad, whatever opportunities in the market. And Stockholm, to me, really right now is that second most interesting thing. Now, there's plenty of other opportunities and places in the market where you could be putting money or you should be keeping your eye on or whatever. Like I said, we'll definitely cover all of those. We're making tons of videos on this channel. But the second most interesting place and the second place I want to go after Paris is Stockholm. Stockholm is something that I have invested in. I have capsules, I have stickers, I have hollows, I have foils, I have all different kinds of stuff. So I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on it. Stockholm has actually had some very interesting movements and changes recently that I think we need to talk about and that you guys need to be up to date on. And in this video today, we're going to be going over all of those. So with that being said, let's get right into this. So I want to start by taking a look at the eSport Fire indexes to see kind of how things have been going recently, because if we look since the Paris sale ended on October 5th or 6th, or I guess, somewhere in here, whatever day exactly it was, Paris, on the 5th was at 1051 and it is now at about 1221. So, it's up like 170 from 1050. Let me get a calculator real quick. 170 divided by 1050. Paris is up like 16% since that sale ended. Now, obviously, Paris has the most reason to be going up. Paris was artificially capped the capsules at 25 cents, and it was easier to get stickers, and sticker supplies were constantly rising. Now, sticker supplies are still going to be rising because people are still going to be opening capsules, but it should hopefully be at a lower tick, and the capsules aren't artificially capped at 25 cents, so Paris has reason for those prices to go up, really massively, really fast, as we've seen. A 16% increase in like a week at this point since the sale has ended. What has happened with Stockholm since then? Because again, Stockholm hasn't really had any reason to go up since the Paris sale has ended. The only reason why Stockholm would be going up since the Paris sale ended was obviously there are some borderless stickers in Paris that are also in Stockholm that are kind of competing, and just I guess in general, the more borderless stickers and capsules and everything that are on the market, that's kind of bad news for Stockholm, since some of the appeal of them is being borderless stickers, cool borderless stickers that are unique in the game and everything. So when that sale ended, there's a little bit of reason for Stockholm to be going up, but then also if Paris is going up, Stockholm's kind of going to follow it, the hype, the prices, all that good stuff. So let's see what Stockholm has done since then. It was 1239 the entire market before the Paris sale ended, and we're sitting at about 1290 right now. So it's gone up like 50. So 50 divided by like 1240. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, it has not moved as crazy as Paris, but in the last week, Stockholm is up 4%. So that's definitely not bad. There's definitely nothing to scoff at, and there's definitely something to kind of dive into and take a look at here. So I want to look at some of what I think are my favorite stickers from Stockholm. I think Gambit on the lower end is a really cool, unique one that is just in the set that I think people should definitely keep an eye on. I think on the cheaper end, obviously I like a lot of these lower tier stickers because I think the cheaper ones have a chance to be a little bit more undervalued. I think in general, the cheaper stickers kind of lag the market in a lot of these cases. And if you look back to some of the data and stuff that I've shown in other videos, oftentimes the mid to lower tier stickers can be some of the ones that have the most gains, not just because they're cheaper and have more room to run, but sometimes the more expensive ones are already have a lot of that price baked in. They're maybe a little bit more overrated. They're where a lot of the money's flowing into already, and in time, as the whole kind of sticker collection gets more popular, the rest of the stickers kind of follow. But I definitely think Gambit is a cool one on this first page. I think Heroic is very cool. Sharks, Godsent, those would be some of the main ones I'm looking at from this first page. And we can see so far, Gambit over the past month looks pretty flat. Nothing too crazy going on. Back in September, 443, and it's like, right around 440 right now. In the past week, Gambit's kind of gone from 367 to 432. If we look at lifetime, we can see obviously a lot of these stickers have done quite well. Since like May, June, July, since the Paris sale started, things are kind of going up very well. But Gambit, definitely one of my favorite ones. One that I would not mind putting some money into in Stockholm. I don't think I own any of the Gambit right now, but it's definitely not one that I would be opposed to owning. Heroic has been, again, one of the best performing stickers in Stockholm. Heroic, one that I really don't mind, a unique red, cool looking sticker for a popular team. And I think it's very, very cheap. I think it's got to be undervalued $5 to about $4.84 right now. So a lot of this stuff has been flat over the past month, but again, in the past week, going from $4.21 to about $4.48, definitely a nice little run for Heroic. And again, this thing was like $2.50, $2.75 back in June, so on a nice little run there. Sharks, this is one that I own. I think this is just so cool. Obviously, I believe a Chinese team, very interesting logo, unique logo, cool logo, borderless sticker that we don't see in any of the other collections. I do own some Sharks. Kind of wish I owned more, but I definitely could see the Sharks holo performing very, very well. It's very nice that it's on the cheaper end as well. About a month ago, it was $4.96. Right now, it's about $4.74. Again, in the past week, this thing has done well, $4.20 up to $4.49, $4.74 yesterday. So prices are kind of moving all over the place. But again, back in May, $2.36 up to doubled in the last whatever time period. So definitely kind of interesting there. Those are some of my favorite ones on the first page. Again, I like Godsent as well. I don't think it loaded, but I believe this is the Godsent one. I do own some Godsent. I think this is one, again, another one that could do quite well. So if you're looking to buy some holos, those are probably some of my top picks for the holos. I do want to look at the second page real quick as well, see if there's anything that stands out to me. Don't really love any of these that much. I think Copenhagen Flames is okay. I think Entropic is a little bit overrated. I own some Entropic, but I probably wish that I didn't. If we get to the last page of the holos, something actually very, very interesting is going on. If this last page will load, I don't know. Steam on the computer always sucks. Stuff just never wants to load. Okay, here we go. On the last page, these are some of my favorites. I actually own a lot of Virtus Pro. I think Virtus Pro, yes, it's on the last page, and it's one of the most expensive stickers, but look at how much cheaper Virtus Pro is than MOUZ and Tyloo. I think Virtus Pro is a great-looking sticker, popular team, unique to Stockholm. Virtus Pro is one that I would definitely consider buying, even at some of these higher prices. I think the Movistar is cool and good, but I just think it's really ugly. So that's not one that I've necessarily been putting my money into or anything like that. But what is interesting here is that the Tyloo Stockholm holo has actually passed up the MOUZ Stockholm holo, and that is very, very interesting because, again, if we look back at these graphs, the MOUZ holo from Stockholm is an iconic item in CSGO history. This was one of the most insane stickers of all time. At its peaks, this thing went up to $135. Again, back here during the sale, this thing was as low as 87 cents, and it went up to $135. At its peak, this was one of the craziest stickers. This really got people going. This got a lot of people into sticker investing in general. It's why people are maybe even so hyped up about Paris, because Paris now has the second MOUZ holo and blah, blah, blah. But it has had quite the downfall since then, obviously going from $135. And a lot of people bought in this $100, $135 range, and it dropped all the way down to like $20. And yeah, now it's up to $44 or whatever. Again, yes, it's doubled since then. I think MOUZ Stockholm in the long run is probably still going to be okay. But it is not the king of Stockholm anymore in terms of ROI. It has not been one of the best performing stickers over the last year for Stockholm. It's actually been pretty mid, but it's also not the most expensive one anymore, which is pretty crazy that the Tyloo Stockholm, which I actually do own some of, and I actually do think is a very, very safe and sound investment. I love the Tyloo Stockholm. Look at what it's been doing recently. Just in the past couple of days, it's gone from $35 up to $44. It's absolutely on fire. In the past month, this thing was $39. Now it's up to $43. If we look at the lifetime, this thing was $17, $18 back here, and it's up to $45 now. At its peaks, this thing was only $54. It was like a third of the price of the MOUZ Stockholm, and it has now flipped. It has now passed it up. So that is just a very, very interesting thing to know. I know there's a lot of people who kind of blindly follow MOUZ and love MOUZ and blah, blah, blah. But you have to understand the MOUZ Paris holo was very, very bad news for the MOUZ Stockholm holo. And I think a lot of MOUZ fanboys fail to recognize that, or just fail to admit that because they're kind of coping too hard or whatever. I know people like Fano, stuff like that, whatever, who just love the MOUZ stuff or claim to love the MOUZ stuff. MOUZ stuff took a big, big, big hit. You can also see this in terms of the capsules as well, where the Stockholm Challengers capsule has forever been the big dog on the market. This thing, again, that the MOUZ, when the MOUZ holo is going crazy, its capsule went crazy, all the way up to $15, which, again, you could buy this thing for 25 cents during the sale. It went up to $15.11 with the MOUZ holo in it, and now it is down to $6 where it's at now. Back down here, it was like $3. Again, it's doubled over the last month, whatever. But we have the Contenders capsule, which at its peaks only got up to $7. Again, about half the price of it. And yes, it dropped the same during the sale, but now it is up to above where the Challenger sticker capsule has been. And this is very, very interesting because I own a lot of the Contenders capsules. And a couple months ago, I made a video saying how as of the last year, the Contenders capsule has been a better performing capsule than the Challengers. Now, I didn't know that the Contenders was going to pass up the Challengers in price, especially this fast, but I did say that, hey, if you look at numbers, you look at the data, the Contenders has been performing better. It has been rising faster, so that is where I would be putting my money. So I know there's a lot of people out there who say, hey, I look into the data too much, I look into numbers too much, blah, 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 blah. I noticed the Contenders was the best performing. I started loading my monies in Contenders, not buying Challengers, and now they have flipped. So the fact that MOUZ is on a little bit of a downfall during Stockholm is definitely something to keep an eye on, and just know that's affecting the MOUZ stickers, and it is affecting the Contenders capsules as well, and it's another reason why I'm not that excited about the MOUZ Holo in Paris either. We also have foils again. For a lot of the foils, I like a lot of the same foils as I do, some of the holos and stuff like that. I think the Gambit foil is really cool. I think the Sharks foil is really cool. The Godsent foil, especially being this cheap. Godsent foil at $3.06 probably has to be one of the best deals in terms of foils and stuff. But I think Sharks is really cool as well. I think Heroic can't be too bad. I think Copenhagen Flames is okay. That Virtus Pro one I actually think looks really good. And again, the Tai Lu foil I do not think you can go wrong with. I know a lot of people like the Entropic. I think it's a little overpriced, a little bit overrated. I don't hate it. I do own some of it. I wish I didn't, but that Tai Lu Stockholm foil I think is really good as well. But this is kind of the latest update on the Stockholm market. That's some of the things that I like and don't like from Stockholm, and just getting that update out to you guys about all the MOUZ stuff and the capsules and everything that's going on. So hopefully you guys can use some of this knowledge to your advantage, hopefully make some money. Again, I don't think Stockholm is a bad purchase right now. I don't think Stockholm has been a bad purchase. I don't think it's a bad purchase right now. I think it's going to do well going in the future. I own some Stockholm, and I think it's another interesting and good thing to be invested in. Obviously, it has the same risk of everything else. Like if Copenhagen's borderless, Stockholm's going to take another hit. But if you get unique stickers that aren't going to be in Copenhagen, you can, not have as much risk or potentially not take as big of a hit, but who knows. But for the next 6 months, I think Stockholm could do quite well, and we're going to have to wait and see. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. Until then. Peace.